Welcome to today's training on how to enter assignments and record grades in the gradebook feature of PowerTeacher. Let's get started by first examining the standards established by Wake County Public Schools. All teachers must use Gradebook to record students' assignments, grades, and daily attendance using the Wake County standards-based grading rubric of 1 through 4. Assignments entered in the gradebook should be created to assess a student's level of understanding according to the expectations of the standard. This should not include formative assessments or benchmark tests. Each assignment created should have at least one corresponding standard attached, and the grades should be the same in both columns for the assignment and the standard. Each assignment should be weighted only one time, indicated by a 1.0. Each standard assessed during a specific quarter should have a minimum of 3 assignments. This is slightly different for English Language Arts and would apply only to the focus standards in bold according to the subject. Work habits should be assessed and graded in the teacher's homeroom class. Let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at PowerTeacher itself. So once you have logged into PowerTeacher, this is the start page that appears. To launch the Gradebook feature of PowerTeacher, I can either click on Gradebook here or I can hit the Quick Launch button. By hitting the Quick Launch button, it takes me straight to the download. You will see that there is a warning that comes up here, and always I'm going to hit the Keep button. Once I hit that, you'll see that I have a download feature. I'm going to click on that small window. You will notice that it automatically starts loading Java. You may, if your computer needs an update, receive a notice that you need to run a Java 6.0 or higher. Once I have this, you'll see it asks, do you want to run this application? And I'm going to click Run. It will take just a few seconds for PowerTeacher to load, and you'll see that the loading window comes and appears on your screen. Once I land into the actual gradebook, you will see in the top left-hand corner that I have classes that are already assigned to me. You will see that through the drop-down menu here, I do want to make sure that I am on my current classes for 2013-14. You will also see indicated any of the classes that are currently assigned to me through PowerSchools. In this instance, I have a homeroom. I teach English, I teach math, social studies, and science. You will also notice that there is a reporting term that's indicated. In this instance, I want to be on quarter 1. Also, when I land in this page, you will notice that there are categories that have been assigned for my assignments. I can add additional categories by checking the plus button here. When I hit that plus button, you will see a Create Assignment category window that appears. In this instance, I'm going to add a category called Observations. For my own sorting purposes in my gradebook, you will see that I can assign it a color. In this instance, I'm going to assign it green. Points possible, because we use standards-based grading, will always be a 1 through 4, so the total points that are possible are 4. And I'm going to click OK to create that category. Oh, it says abbreviation must be specified, so here I'm going to abbreviate that with OBS for observations. I click OK, and you will then see that the observations category is listed there. I can also change the defaulted categories that are listed. So for example, I want to change the homework category since I do not grade homework with standards-based grading. In that instance, you will see I double-clicked homework, the same window appears, and in this case, I'm actually going to call this classwork. I'm going to abbreviate that with a CW. I'm going to leave the same color here, but again, I need to change my points possible to a 4 instead of a 10. I'm going to click OK here, and you will now see that the homework category has been changed to classwork. Next, we're going to examine how to create an assignment in my gradebook that is linked and aligned to one standard of the Common Core standards. You'll see here that the classes that are assigned to me are indicated here. For training purposes, I'm going to work within the 5th grade math class. You will see currently that there are no assignments that have been created, and so I'm going to click here on the plus button to add an assignment. A small window appears where I need to give the specifics of the assignment. The first thing I'm going to do is actually name it. In this instance, I have created an assignment called adding decimals. An abbreviation is required, but if you just tab right over, you do not have to change the name to anything different. I'm going to add the category of the assignment based on the categories that I have aligned to my gradebook. So you will see in this instance that this is a classwork assignment. There is a drop-down menu here for score types. Because at the elementary level we use standards-based grading, we will always indicate points. The total points possible should always be 4. Extra points should always be 0 since students are not able to earn extra points on an assignment. And the weight should also always be 1.00. I can indicate here the due date on my assignment by clicking on the calendar that appears. In this instance, my assignment is due on Friday, June 28th. If this assignment is to be included in the student's final grade for mathematics, then this box here needs to be indicated with a check. I can also include a description of the assignment. So for example, I have adding decimals with base 10 blocks. This is a good area to keep populated so that you can remember the specifics of the assignment that you've given. Next, I'm going to navigate to the Publish tab. It gives me a drop-down menu next to Publish Assignment. You will see that there are options here for immediately, on specific date, days before due, on due date, or never. In this instance, I'm going to publish immediately. This will be particularly important with the upcoming parent portal that will open and allow parents to see grades for their particular children. In this instance, the parents would be able to see the student's grade for adding decimals immediately when I enter it into my gradebook. I'm then going to navigate to the Standards tab, and I need to link the particular assignment to the corresponding standard to which it aligns. In this instance, I'm going to actually align it to a standard for fractions and decimals. You will notice here in the top right-hand corner that there is an option that says Use Assignment Score to calculate standard scores. Because I have an assignment that is being linked to one particular standard, this checkbox here means that whatever the student receives on the assignment is the same score that would then be indicated for this standard. Let me show you exactly what I mean here by clicking, making sure that that is checked, and then clicking Save. I'm going to close my assignment box here. You will notice then in my gradebook that there is an assignment now called Adding Decimals. It is color-coded blue to correspond with the classwork category on the left-hand side. I can then click on the small s here, which will open up a drawer for the particular standard that is aligned to that assignment. So you will see here that it is a fractions decimal standard and gives the information about that particular standard. I'm going to enter, for training purposes, a grade here for the first student in my gradebook. And let's say that this student earned a level 3 on this particular assignment. Because I checked the box that indicated that the assignment score and the standard score should be the same, when I navigate out of that box for that particular student by pressing down or navigating with the click of a mouse to the next student, you will see that a grade automatically populates for the standard. Now in this instance, you will see that there is an M indicated here. That will not occur for our gradebooks in Wake County. This is a training site that we are using for the video, and it is defaulted to letters that are here, M standing for mastery. When you enter a grade into your gradebook and you have that box checked to align the assignment to the standard, then you will see that if you enter a 3 here, it will automatically populate a level 3 in this category for this standard as well. It will not be letters that appear there. Now there may be some instances where you are giving assignments to students and they are aligned to more than one standard. Let's create an assignment where that is the situation. Again, I'm going to click on the plus sign here to create an assignment. And you will see, because I did not save, which is in this bottom right-hand corner here, it does give me an alert in case I try to navigate without saving. And it asks, would you like to save the changes that have been made to the score sheet? In this instance, I am going to click yes, because I do want to save my changes. My new assignment window pops up, and I'm going to create an assignment now that is linked to 2 standards instead of just to 1 standard. So maybe that this assignment is decimals project. Again, the abbreviation I'm going to use the same as decimals project. The category this time, however, is going to be project. My score type, again, always remains the same for points. My points possible is 4 because we use standards-based grading. And the weight is always going to be 1.00. The due date is going to be Friday, June 28th. I do want this included in the student's final grade. And I'm going to make a description here to know that the decimals project was all about adding and subtracting decimals. Again, I'm going to navigate to the Publish tab. I do want this assignment to publish immediately so that parents can see this in the parent portal. And now I'm going to align the assignment to the standard. In this instance, this particular project is aligned to addition standards, subtraction standards, and the fraction and decimal standard. Now, because I am scoring each of these standards individually, I do not want the assignment score to calculate the standards score. So I'm going to uncheck that box, which will require me to enter an assignment score, and then I have to individually enter scores for the student's performance on those standards. Let's take a look at what happens when I click the Save button. I'm going to close that Create Assignment window. Again, to display the standards, I click on the S here at the top so that it will display for me. This is in purple because it aligns to the project category here. And then I have the 3 standards to which I have aligned this assignment. You will see addition, subtraction, fractions, and decimals. Let's hypothetically say that the student earned a level 3 overall on the project. We do not want this to populate automatically a level 3 for addition, subtraction, and fractions and decimals. Because when we're using standards-based grading, we recognize that a student may have been stronger in the area of addition and weaker in the area of subtraction, and maybe received a total different score in fractions and decimals. So in this instance, what I will need to do is when I navigate away from that student's score, you will see that it does not automatically populate scores here under each of those standards. Instead, using the rubric that I used to assess this project, I will need to manually enter a grade on how a student performed on each of the individual standards. And I would do that then by just clicking into each of these boxes to manually enter those scores. I also have to consider, so before I do that, I'm going to hit save here. If not, it would have prompted me to save. I also have to consider where I'm going to score my work habits and conduct grades. Because the report card will automatically be populated as based on what I have scored in my gradebook, I do need to have a place where I do record those work habits and conduct grades. In this instance, it's always going to be in the classroom teacher's homeroom class. You will create assignments just as you would in any of your other courses, except here I'm going to score them on a basis of 1 through 3 based on work habits and conduct. You can see here that I have already created 2 assignments just as an example. So you will see here the first assignment was work habits week 1. The second assignment was conduct week 1. For any additional questions or support related to creating assignments and keeping your grades in Gradebook, you will need to see the Gradebook contact who has been trained and assigned at your school.